Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the next session of stack development. So, as part of our previous session, I have discussed what is React, right? How to create a React application and what are the prerequisites to work with the React application in your computer, right? So, in that regard, just learn Node.js to be installed in our computer. So, along with the Node.js, however, npm also will be installed. Next, we will be having an IDE, some editor to create the source code or to edit the source code. Next, a browser, any browser to see the output. So other than that, we need something like create a React app. This tool is required to create any React applications in our computer. So to do that, one thing we can do is npm install -g create React app. We can do that so that that will be available in our computer. So that is npm install -g create React app. This has to be installed. Or whenever we are creating our application directly by connecting to the internet. So directly whichever the location we are, directly we are there, we want to create something like some special React application or whatever the application you want to create, directly we can create using another command as well, that is npx. Here you can use create a React app. This is also like npm only, same that extended one, React app, and then your application name here, whatever the application name you want to give, you can able to, even in this way you can able to create your React application. This is a story about your React application. And in our folder here, something like learn stack November 2021, in this React work already we have started this one. So to launch this application or to open this application, already we know this application we can able to directly run through this one command prompt, or I can open this application in my Visual Studio Code. So if I want to do that here, normally I can open Visual Studio Code. From there, I can use open folder option, and then I can open this particular folder. Or as we are using Visual Studio Code, as this command prompt is also from Windows, there is Microsoft, and this Studio Code is also from Microsoft. So here it will allow us to do this one. That is directly we can simply type code space dot and then hit enter. Then it will be opening at the back end. That Visual Studio Code window will be opening. Yes. Now, if I want to run my application, then here I can run. Or in the Visual Studio Code also, we will be having the terminal option here. You click this new terminal, then there also a command prompt, minified command prompt will be opened here. You are able to see something here. Yes, this one is called your command prompt only. Now, here I would like to run my application. So to run the application, as I told you, React will be using Node at the backend to run its server. Okay. So that is the reason we'll be using a simple command for npm start. Just hit enter, make a minute to run our React server. Yeah, it's running the backend, something like React scripts is there, which is a dependency for your React application. The moment we create React application, certain things will be downloaded, right, as a dependencies. One among them is will be like your React scripts. Okay, that will be happening at the backend of the front. But what I would like to discuss today is As we already know, these things are like prerequisites to work with a React. That is with respect to what I can say, like system requirements or something like that. So in that regard, these are the requirements. But other than this, we do have something other requirements also, like technical requirements. I can say are what I can say, like subject related requirement. That is, so JavaScript knowledge is required to work with React applications or React. You need knowledge in the JavaScript. Why? Because this React is nothing but a JavaScript library here. React, or we call it as React.js, so it is nothing but a JavaScript library. So that is the reason you require certain knowledge in the JavaScript. So already I told you. So I hope you people are already having enough knowledge in the JavaScript. That is not what I can say, like you need not be a professional in the JavaScript, but certain things like variables and all you should know, data types, variables and all, how to declare, how to work with that one. Then some conditional statements you should know, that is like if and all. Then some flow control statements also, that is like looping statements and all, you should have knowledge in that. Then one of the important topic, that is aspect functions. So if you know these things, then it will be easy for you to understand React. Even though you may not use directly, but definitely will be using like functions and everything will be there in the application development. Not only React, any application development, if you're trying to do with any of the technology, definitely these things are like basic things. So that is what I'm expecting. Like people are already having the knowledge. But here I would like to talk a little more on something called functions. So as of now, we already know functions are something like a block of statements. It's like a block in which we have certain statements which are defined for particular task, right? We'll be defining something, and that is purely for particular task. So in that, what we'll be doing is we'll be writing something, and that function will be defined with some name. We'll be calling that function, then that function will get executed. That is what we have seen so far, right? So if you want to define any function in JavaScript, you know something like function keyword we'll be using. Then the function name we'll be writing, whatever may be the function. Here I'm writing something, message function. Like this, we'll be defining a function. This is called definition of a function in JavaScript. And here we'll be writing some implementation code for that particular function. Whatever may be, we can say function body or whatever it is, whatever you want to define here. Yes, you can able to define. Something will be defined. Then later, if you want to execute that function will be executing by using function call activity. This is for function call. If you do this directly in your JavaScript, directly it will be calling a function. Or if you want to call this function through your HTML page by using some button or something like that, then yes, definitely you can able to call that with using some button, and that is what we know as of now, right? So, but other than that, there are other ways also there to define function in JavaScript. So, what are they? How we will be writing the syntax? So that is what we are going to see today. So, but this is like in your React working directly, we'll be using this instead. We don't say separately like this is that function, that is this function, but directly we'll be using depending on our situation, different kind of functions will be using. These kind of things will be there, but other than that, we'll be using some other ways of function definitions, function callings also will be used. So what is that and all, how we are going to use it, and what is the syntax for that? So that is what we are going to see. Yeah, I think it started React. This is your React application. Now, here this is the folder. React work is there. But here I just would like to create one simple page, HTML page. I would like to create. And for that, also I would like to open in my Visual Studio Code. Already React application is open, but this one is asked for the security reason. I have to say okay. This is my React work inside the particular and yeah. Here I'm creating one HTML file. Okay. Different ways of defining functions in JavaScript. Now I would like to add script tag so that I can add my JavaScript, which we already knew is this one, this function. Some name for a function. Hi. If you want to provide certain parameters, yes. If you want, yes. If you don't want, also it's up to you. Something okay. I'm just using one parameter for a. That's it. And what this function should do is here. Function should log some value. So what value that a only I want to just log here. And here. Whatever the name you are passing, that should be there. So for that, and I would like to call that function now. So that function name is something like hi, and you can pass any value over there. And to call the function, you can call the function. Here, save this. That's it. Try to open this in a browser. So as you have written console.log, so definitely the output you can able to see in the console window. So for that, I'm just using this one. Here is my console window. Go to the console tab. As recalled already, directly that is hide on this. Okay, fine. It's not a big deal. This is one way in which we can able to work with the functions. So there is one more way is also there that is called anonymous functions. We call it as something called anonymous functions. Where here what is the function name? Our function name is hi. Function name is hi. So in this category of anonymous functions, where we do not provide any name to our function. So that is like we'll be using only function keyword without using any function name here. Clear? And it can have multiple arguments also. Like you can you are having a argument right here. You can have anything here, but how we'll be using and how we'll be calling that and all. So that is what we are going to learn now. So the syntax will be like function will be there, but without any name for your function. So now we are going to work with that one. Anonymous functions. So one way of defining anonymous functions. Here I am declaring one variable here. The variable name is something like message. You can write whatever the name is. Fine. Now here I am defining no name. Okay. If you want to provide certain parameters to this one, yes, you can provide. Or if you don't want to provide any parameters, you want to keep it as an empty without any parameters. Yes, that also fine. And here within this function, what to be happen that I'm mentioning simply some console message I want. This is a message function. Whatever you want. Or whatever. Okay, anonymous we are talking, right? So this is anonymous. Now to call this one, we have to use that name, variable name. We have to use this is the variable name. Okay. Now what is that variable name? Message. Using that, I can able to call that one. So if you look at this one here, this is this indicates like a property over there. Here, this symbol here, something is there. But if I do go with this one high, you're able to see something in the layer, right? That like a big cube like this. Why? Because this high is a function it is telling. But when I write something like message, it's like it is considering it as a property or some variable or something. Okay, whatever it is. Now message, then call this one. Now save this and just go to your browser, just reload it. Yes, you're able to see second one is also getting executed, right? So that is called anonymous function. So how we did that one? So in that, what we have done here is for function, we have just created a function without any name for the function. Here, if you look at this, it is showing the definition function. I is the name. One parameter called a, which is of any type. It is not returning any value. Here, if you look at that, local is there. So this is kind of a local function. That's it. And we are not providing any name. But the execution, whatever is happening, that entire thing we are assigning to a variable. That variable will be acting as your function variable. To work. Clear? This is called, what I can say, one more way of your anonymous function. So here, this is a normal function, not anonymous, but this is anonymous. Next, here I would like to call anonymous function here in another way now. Yeah, same thing, but you can able to pass a variable also. Like argument also you can able to pass here. Say yes, that variable argument is also possible. Like for example, here assume like it will take some variable, some a, whatever it is. Now message I will change. You no need to change. You can keep same as well, but just for better understanding, I am changing. Okay. Yeah, just pass the variable, and here I will pass something just like that. Some whatever it is. Now I better use this. I save this and just go to the browser, just reload the browser and observe the output. Yeah, here maybe some, yeah, here I'm calling message function only one more time. No, it is message one, right? Save, go there, reload the page. This is an anonymous. This is an anonymous function with as argument, right? Fine. Now I like to call in another way now. So these are anonymous functions. The first one is a normal one. So next are anonymous message and message one. This is one way in which without any parameter. This is with some parameter, but where we are not giving any name to our function. Next way is also there. It's like a self-executing function here. That is like what I can say, like for example, directly I will write the function. This is kind of executing a function, right? Right? So usually we will give some name to this function, right? And first we'll be defining some function here, somewhere else, and that name we'll be writing here. And then if you write this parenthesis, then that function will get executed. So here instead of writing some name, first defining function, then calling that name. Instead of doing that, the entire defining the function activity I'm doing here itself. So okay, now I tell you here is yeah, I write like this. Yeah. So here I'm not giving any name to my function like this. Here I'm defining something in the function, something to be executed. Yeah. Here I'm writing something like this is an anonymous function with self-defining style or self-executing style. Understood? Now here nowhere I'm calling the function, especially with something. Here no name is there. Here see anyhow even this anonymous function you're writing, but that you're assigning to a variable output. Here also you're assigning to a variable, but here no function name at all, and even we are not assigning it to anything, but still at the end we are using this one, okay, like a parenthesis, then immediately we are calling it, hoping that it will work. Yes, so this is anonymous function with self executing style. So these are the one, two, three, yeah, three ways we have seen. Other than that, there is one special concept is there in JavaScript, especially the JavaScript, that is a callbacks. So what is callbacks and why we use callbacks is for asynchronous programming. What is asynchronous programming? Why we use asynchronous programming? So uh, these aspects we'll be learning in our Node.js learning. Okay, so don't worry much about that one asynchronous programming. But at this moment, what I can say asynchronous programming is. Uh, in general kind of programming style, whatever we use like Java and Python, whatever you use so far, in that you'll be having something like assume there are certain lines, 10 lines of program is there, line number 1 2 3 4, like that it is there. Then fourth line will be executed only when third line execution completed. Yes or no? That is what called sequential programming. That is first line, then second line. If second line execute, then only third line, then fourth line, then like that it will be happening. If third line execute, then only fourth line will be executed. But in real world scenario, what will happen is sometimes that third line is something, it may do some activity which may take some more time, assume. Then fourth line has to be executed, right? Then fourth line has to wait till the third line is getting executed. That is what programming style is, sequential style. But there are certain situations where the fourth line is independent on third line, means like whether third line is executed or not, fourth line sometimes may not depend on the third line. So at that time also still it has to wait for third line to be executed, and also sometimes that third line may take more time. So meanwhile, instead of wasting the time and all, so some activities happening related to third line, but meanwhile fourth line, next fifth line will get executed line by line. So assume like when the fifth line is getting completed, at that time third line activity is done. Then that output will be displayed. You understood it? That is called asynchronous programming. So we are not waiting till the output of one line is executed to execute the next line. You understood it? In that scenario, in such cases, if we have such kind of scenarios in our programming style, then we'll be using asynchronous concept. So in that we have something called callbacks. Some other things are there. Okay, I no need to discuss much about that one because that exclusively will be learning in Node.js program. Fine. But here there is, in that way, there is one more concept is that of callback function. So now we are going to call this anonymous function using callback method. So callback style also. So what is that the callback here is? In JavaScript, there is so all these are methods, right? Message one, message. These are like functions. So these functions, at least high is a function which we have defined. But other than that, there are 2 3 functions in JavaScript which are self built-in functions. So I just want to use those functions. So that function name is something like set timeout function. So this is the set timeout function. What this function will do exactly here is, will tell you what this will be doing. If you look at this definition, yeah, here it will take two arguments. One is handler, and the other one is something like timeout, and then some arguments, but it is optional things. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to write something here. Callback function, right? Something I am calling callback function. So whatever the callback function you want to write, that function here will be writing, and then the timeout will be writing. Means like how much time you want. That is like this function will get executed, but only after some time. You understood? Intentionally, it will wait for a few seconds or something like that. Then that function will get executed. So, for example, here, what I will do is here we do the time always will be in milliseconds actually. So if I give 5,000, which means which indicates uh, 5 seconds, right? Yeah. Now here I am defining the function what to be done. That too in anonymous style where no name. Understood, right? And here we are going to write what to be displayed. Function with the callback. Right? Now that's it. Uh, Now we are going to execute that. So for that I'm just reloading. 4 are already executed, but the last one still not executed. Yeah, now it is executed. You understood, right? So again I will do it for you. If first only 4 are there, it will take 5 seconds time after loading. Then only, yeah, now it is getting executed. You observe, right? So this is what your uh, timeout function is about. But in real time scenario, what will be there is instead of this particular function, different functions will be there. The functions will be having like reading a file. You understood, right? So meanwhile, instead of time setting, there will be different kind of things will be there, and different times will be there, and these functions also will be having different actions like reading the file. Why I am using that word called reading a file because sometimes when you are reading a file, that reading may take more time. So meanwhile, other statements have to wait, right, to get executed. So that is what the problem. So that is the place where your anonymous style of defining functions is not a function, anonymous, not anonymous. What I can say, asynchronous programming style is there. Okay, what is that, Render? As I already told you, I repeat this word called, you'll be learning extensively in Node.js. Okay. This moment, how to define anonymous function, that function without any name that even you can use inside the callback functions also. That is what learning point here. This is one way. Yes. So as of now, one, two, three, four, right? There is one more way is also there where we don't even use so function keyword also. Still we define anonymous functions, but without even using function keyword. So that style of anonymous function we are going to uh, define now without using function keyword also. As of now, anonymous means what? Without using any name for the function, right? Direct using function keyword. But now we are doing something without even using the function keyword also. Then how we are going to use it and how we are going to uh, work with it. Yeah, here I'm using something like message to some value whatever it is. Just observe what I'm writing. Instead of function, what will be in general function keyword, then follow with this one. Function keyword this one. Function keyword this one. So now I'm missing that function keyword, just only that parenthesis I'm using. This is the definition of function. What to be done in that function that I can do. Now just I'm logging now some info. I just want this is anonymous function without function keyword. Right? Now save this, and this has to be called, right? To execute that, we have to call it. I'm using a variable, right? Message to is the variable, right? So with that, I'm calling. Now just go there and just reload it. You see that this is anonymous function with that function keyword is first coming, and then callback function is coming. You understand? You may think like in this order it will. Well, no, that is what Assume this is the third line, this is the fourth line. So which line is getting executed? First line, second line, fine. Then third line is taking some time, right? That is happening at the back end. But fourth line is getting executed immediately. You understood? Again, one more time you can observe. This is done. Fourth line. After that, some 5 seconds, third line will get executed. Okay. Right? That is asynchronous typing. But leave about asynchronous. Anyhow, this is an anonymous function without function. Yes, it is done. Right? Now, without function keyword, but with arguments. Okay. Without function keyword, but with arguments. Now, same style. There, you'll be having the parameters. Where here I'm defining it as 3. Here you'll be having the parameters. You can have any parameters over there. 2 parameters I want to pass. It's up to you guys. You want how many number of parameters. 1 also you can pass, 2 also you can pass, 3 also you can pass. Yeah. Without also you can do it. 0 parameters. Here it is taking 2 parameters. So that's the reason here I have to pass 2 parameters. You can pass whatever parameters. Just 2 names I am passing. Here in the login, this is anonymous function without function keyword. And with 2 names, right? That names I want to write here. Okay. Let me check. Just go to the browser and just reload it. The number function without function keyword and some with 2 arguments. What is that? Ajay and Bo. Yes. Now this is without function keyword I am using. But if you are able to see some symbol I have used here, right? So as I use that symbol, these kind of style of anonymous functions are also known as arrow function. There's one more name is also there, that is arrow. See, anonymous means without using any name to your function. Here also I did not use any name for my function. Here also I did not use any name for my function. Here also I did not use any name for my function. That is fine. Yeah. So here, without using a name for your function is called anonymous function. That anonymous style you can even use using arrow or arrow keyword, arrow also, arrow also. That is called anonymous style, but we also call it as arrow function. If you look at this one, it is telling still it is a function. See, function is there, but which is void type. This is also void type, but it's a 2 parameters. Okay, fine. Now here I would like to uh, same one I want to do with just 1 parameter. Absolutely, it will work, right? If it is working with what I can say 2 parameters, definitely it will work with one parameter. Now save this, and yeah, here I would like to change this one something, some other name. 4 define. Now save. Just go to your browser. Just reload the browser. Here, okay. We are passing two things here in the console log. You have to pass only one thing. A. B is not defined. Save this. Go to the browser. Yes, this is anonymous function without any keyword, but with Ajay as an argument. Okay, this will come as a callback after some time. Now, why I use this? You may get doubt like, here I've used without any parameters, but here I've used two parameters. Definitely one parameter will work, right? Then why I've used here? Because this one parameter thing I used here, I have to use, see, without function keyword, if I don't want to use any function keyword, then this is the style. We have to use something like parenthesis, empty parenthesis for zero parameters, or parenthesis with uh, arguments. Here also with arguments. Now, how many arguments are there for message for? Only one argument, right? So this I can pass like this parameter. So here also, but the same thing I can able to do in this way also. I think it should work. Now save this. Just go there and reload it. Yes, it's working. It's working. Fine, right? Now the same thing if I try to do here. No parameters are there, right? If I want to do this one, then try. Now this will throw error, right? Something is expected. Fine. Now here also two parameters, right? So I'm passing two parameters called a comma. Now this is all here also it is showing some syntax related error. You understood, right? So what I want to say here is whenever we are working with these arrow functions, whenever we are working with arrow function, then writing this parenthesis is mandatory. Then same is the story. If only one argument is there, then writing that is optional. Only one argument, then writing this is optional. Clear? But this story is only about your arrow function. Clear? So this is about your arrow. So if you are talking about anonymous function, there are different ways in which we can define the anonymous functions. So normally you can able to define them without using any function name for the function, that is simply function, or even we can use without using function keyword also. Clear? That without using function keyword means definitely we'll be using that extra syntax, special syntax, that is this symbol, arrows, right? So this is about your anonymous function. So why I'm telling this? Because most of the times, most of the areas will be using this step, arrow functions, because from ES6, the latest versions like of JavaScript, this is very much popular. And for development, we start writing function, keyword, function name. See, all the things, whatever I can do by using one simple function name, function space, then some function message 3 or something, some function name, then two arguments, and then calling that function, whatever happens, the same story happens here with respect to my, what I can say, like, simply by using this one, right? Yes. So this is called, your, what I can say, uh, minimizing the things and still achieving the same functionality. Clear? So this is about your functions and different kinds of functions here. How we are going to cover. These are like directly we'll be using these things in our development. So at that time you should not feel like this is something Greek and Latin, right? So that is the reason. Just, giving you some overview about this. Not sure you can, self-executing function is there, right? So in this style also, you can able to execute using what I can say arrow style also. I think so. Okay, I will try to execute this one. It should work, hopefully. Yeah. This is arrow function with self-executing style. Something I'm writing here. Now here I did not use any function keyword. I did not use any, what I can say, variable name to store it and later call it function variable. Nothing I have done, but still I will have to execute it. Just go there and reload it. Yes, yeah, that is not means something. This is the callback somewhere inside that we have to use it. So that is what I'm doubt about this. Okay. So this is about your what I can say is different styles of functions, anonymous functions, and with function keyword, without function keyword. Okay, guys, that's it for the day. So, okay, I don't want to give some more burden in initial days. Okay, so just ensure that you are also fine with these functions. Before functions, I also would like to have some understanding on the variables. Okay, variables, data types, and loops, and if conditions, if else, and all. Okay, that's conditional statements, and then these functions too. So try to have some get some grip on this again, so that it will be easy for you to understand what I can say. React related scripts. Fine. Yeah. So that's it for the day, guys. Still, if you're having any doubts regarding today's, just you can drop your questions in the chat box, or else you can unmute yourself. You can ask me questions. Or else, if you are fine, then let's just let me know in the comment box like you're clear, so that we can wind up for the day. Yeah. Okay, guys. Then yeah, we'll meet in our next session.